just made this just now. It's a list of my top 10 favorite Godzilla movies. Just to clarify, there are 3 Godzilla movies that I have not seen, so therefore they're not on the list. The Return of Godzilla Returns, The Return of Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, the original, and Godzilla vs. Megalon. Those are the 3 I've not seen. And also, the original Japanese Godzilla movie and the American version will not be on this list. And plus, there'd be too much madness because it's not my favorite. But it probably would be my number 2. But, maybe number 3. I'm sorry, guys. And also, the American ones do not count. So, let's get started with my top 10 favorite Godzilla movies, and this is my opinion. Number 10, I just have to go with Son of Godzilla. There were 2 Godzilla movies that I watched, and one of them was Son of Godzilla. I just would watch this one nonstop. I don't know why. So just one of the few I actually watched a lot. And, but, yeah, I just have to go with this one. And plus, it's not like my top 10, but I really did like the Godzilla movies where they were actually on like Monster Island, as I called it. But yeah, I just did like this one as a kid, so yeah. Terror of Mechagodzilla. I mean, just look at the cover. That looks awesome. Terror of Mechagodzilla. I mean, it has one of my favorite Godzilla monsters, Titanosaurus, which I'll do a top 10 Godzilla monsters later, which will not include Godzilla because, he'd be at the top. Anyways, I just did love this movie because it was just, I recently got it, and plus, in the American version, the intro was awesome. If you haven't seen the intro of it, it was like this. It was really cool. But, this one, it was really interesting, but I only put it at number 9 because there were just so many Godzilla movies. Anyways, number 8, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. This is another one that I watched quite a bit as a kid. But it scared me. Oh my gosh. The scene where the little, the larva Meganulon, the larva stage, it came in and killed those 2 people. That scene just scarred me for life. But yeah, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. Just gotta be number 7. I mean, look at Space Godzilla. It's like the only reason I even put this movie on the list. The story's pretty decent. I really did not like the Heisei. I mostly liked the Showa. And the Millennium was decent. The first 3 movies were not that great. Final Wars and those Mechagodzilla ones, they were pretty decent. But yeah, number 7's just gotta be Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. Number 6 just gotta be Godzilla vs. Biollante. I recently got this one. Well, it was a while ago, but I have not seen it very much. The story is kind of a weird one, and there really isn't that much monster action. Sorry guys for that noise. But the monster action, there's really not that much. But the story's still pretty decent. And I just do like Biollante. It's a really cool movie, and I do recommend it. The story's pretty good. Then, this is the other movie that I was talking about when I was looking at Son of Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Sea Monster and Son of Godzilla, those were the 2 I watched the most. I mean, those 2 were just, oh my gosh, I love them both. So it just had to be number 5. Number 4, it's pretty much Destroy All Monsters remastered. I don't know. Excuse me. It was many people may not have noticed, but it's pretty much Destroy All Monsters done over again. All the monsters except Kaiser Ghidorah or Monster XD, as it says on the back, and Monster X. Those 2 were, but pretty much Kaiser Ghidorah is just King Ghidorah. But yeah, it's, if you do not notice, besides those two, it's purely Showa monsters. And then there's, you know, oh, Mr. Squarehead Godzilla. But yeah, Godzilla Final Wars. It's got to be number 4. Number 3, you may not agree with me, but I do love Godzilla Raids Again. It wasn't. Oh, I just love it because it was like the second Godzilla movie, and it was. I just love it. The American version is the only one I've seen. I do have the Japanese one, but I just have not seen it. That one, they have these weird scenes where it's like all sped up at random times, and they keep on calling Godzilla the Gigantus, and pretty much the American title is Gigantus the Fire Monster, but it really didn't bug me. I mean, the movie was still great. And I mean, it's Anguirus. Who doesn't love Anguirus? And that's probably my favorite Anguirus design. I just love the old, you know, cheap stuff. I just love those. The newer stuff, Next, it's just gotta be Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. I mean, if you don't love this movie, my gosh, alright. Oh my gosh. Alright. This movie, I mean, the action, it starts right away. I mean, seriously. You're like 5 minutes in, and boom, there's already Godzilla fighting Fire Rodan. It's just so awesome. It's just, you know, one of the greatest Godzilla movies out there. And my number 1 has to be, and this is my favorite movie out of all times, has to be Destroy All Monsters. I mean, oh my gosh, I just love this movie. It's even, actually where my, I wonder what do you call it, my face? My account picture? I don't know. But, you know, my YouTube channel picture is actually a picture from this movie with Baragon and Varan standing next to each other. B and V, you know, Baragon and Varan, just shortened. But yeah, those two are two of my favorites. And it had a bunch of my favorites, like Gorosaurus. And what I even love even more is that they actually put a lot of time with Gorosaurus. They put a lot of time with Anguirus. And they just had these monsters that you just wouldn't, like, all see together. And it was awesome. I loved this movie. This was, like, one of my favorite movies. What's even funny is people say this is a very rare Godzilla movie. Where did I find it? I found it at Walmart for $20. Yeah, it was only around when the movie came out. They just had this big display stand of Godzilla movies, and I'm like, ooh, I want this one. It was actually between this one and this one. I'm like, well, this one's more expensive, and I've already seen this one in a few other places. But then again, I'd rather have this one because it's just got so many monsters. And what do you know? It was awesome. All right, but yeah, Destroy All Monsters, favorite movie of all time. But yeah, so this has been my top 10 favorite Godzilla movies. See you guys in the next video.